Hello, everyone, and welcome to 1v1 with Boss Rush Games. I'm your host, Celeste Roberts of Nintendo Pow Block and Another Zelda podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Nellie, a part-time streamer, member of Boss Rush Games, contributor on Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast, fiction writer, Resident Evil fangirl, and so much more. So that's a great introduction for you, Nellie.
I know, right? I feel famous already.
Well, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
I'm good. I really love these. I love getting to know people, and they're really exciting. They're really enjoyable. It's a nice way to sit back and just have a conversation and reflect, because sometimes I feel like life moves really fast.
Yes, I remember being in my 20s, now I'm in my 30s.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like, even if I wake up early on the weekend, I still feel like it's not enough time.
Oh yeah, I have to sleep in sometimes.
Yeah, it's really important to rest. Oh my goodness. Well, Nellie, why don't you tell people about yourself? Like, what are some of your hobbies?
Let's see. Born and raised in Chicago, currently living in Florida. I am a college student that's studying for my AA in general studies, and I'm also studying graphic design, working on my AS and that. Then hopefully I could go on to work on my bachelor's in game design.
So you probably don't have a lot of time to enjoy a lot of pastimes you're used to right now, huh? It sounds like a busy schedule.
Yes, I have 4 classes at the moment. So
Four classes? And they're all online.
yes.
Okay, how are you feeling right now? Is it a stressful semester or?
Not yet. We haven't hit it yet, but it's coming.
And it ends in December?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Like if you see my calendar on my computer, it's like floop.
Wow. Oh, hopefully the time flies by for that.
Yes. If I stay on top of everything, I'll be okay.
I think you can do it. I think you'll be just fine, because it sounds like these are subjects that you're passionate about.
Yes. Except
So,
college algebra.
except me too. Not my passion subject at all.
Definitely.
So what got you into graphic design? Is it something you dabbled in before studying it?
I like to sketch, but I'm not the best drawer in the world, so I do want to improve on that. But it's also my love for video games. They can go hand in hand because I can actually create like billboards, posters. I could do magazine covers, which I do want to dabble into becoming a layout artist as well.
Wow. So have you started any of those kind of courses yet?
I took a publishing class when I was in Chicago. That was fun. And that's kind of what struck my interest.
Oh, that's awesome. So you must be someone who, whenever you see a magazine or a publication, you must start analyzing it, right?
I do. Like, that's not right. You need a little bit more space right there. That wording is kind of off. I started like tearing it apart. I had a strict teacher, so she used to do us like that.
So yeah, it's probably like you start noticing things that most people might not.
Yeah. It's
That's
fun though.
really cool. That's really cool, though. It's going to help you out a lot so that you can make things and you can improve and you can do what you feel is right and professional.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, speaking of video games, you obviously like to play video games. You're part of Boss Rush and you stream. So, what are some of your earliest memories of video games?
I actually started out with the original Nintendo. I
Mhm.
played games like Super Mario 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade, and then we moved on to Sega, which I got into Sonic and Zombie Ate My Neighbor and Street Fighter. We had Sega Channel, so I played a lot. And one of my favorites from Sega was Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, did you play the newest one?
I have the newest one, yes.
How is it compared to the older ones?
It actually still has the same feel to it. The of course graphics are updated and art style is amazing. Still has good music.
That's what I hear. I hear I need to listen to the soundtrack.
Yes, Streets of Rage has one of the best soundtracks in video game history.
Do you ever like to listen to video game soundtracks while you're doing something else?
I took a 4-hour final this past term, and I actually looped the Resident Evil remake save thing for
Oh
four
my
hours.
God, I love it. That
It
is
was
so
great.
soothing.
It is.
So
I
it
don't know
wasn't,
if you heard it, but oh my
yes.
God. Oh yeah, we talked about this. Why am
Oh,
I?
that's okay. That's okay. Look, I sometimes I forget what day it is, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, we talked about this. You can question me on it.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't. For new listeners, Nellie was on our women's panel in July, and so now we're getting to do the 1v1 with her and focus on her and her interests today. And I think it's good that you listen to that theme instead of like the Mr. X theme or a fight theme while
Oh
doing
yes.
your final.
We're not gonna talk about that right now.
No, gosh. So what kind of games do you like to play now? Do you still like beat 'em ups? Do you gravitate towards new genres?
Me personally, I play whatever I get my hands on. And I know that sounds cliche, but I play anything from like action adventure to horror to like puzzles to fighters, which I don't play too many fighters, but I just like to expand. A game has to touch me in some type of way in order for me to be like, oh my God, I really like this. So, I mean, it's good to have an open mind. I used to be pretty close minded, like everything had to be Resident Evil, but I had a professor saying, hey, you need to open up your horizons just a little bit. And
Really? So the professor encouraged you to try new games?
yes,
Really?
because I was like real big into horror, and there were like so many games I was missing out on. And I was like, you know what? Open up a little bit. Stop being like that.
So is there a genre that you never thought you would like that you ended up really liking after that?
Uh, no. Oh, platformers.
Platformers?
Because I grew up with Mario and Sonic, of course. And then there was Crash Bandicoot. And then like Little Nightmares came out and I was in love. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I used to love platformers.
And there's another one coming out too, huh?
Yeah, Little Nightmares too. I'm excited.
So it sounds like you like the horror, the spooky kind of games the most.
I do. It's a crazy feeling I get from it.
So do you like horror movies too?
I do. I love scary movies. And funny enough, a lot of people that I hang with, they don't like scary movies, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, fine. I watch it by myself."
Well, you should make them watch it with you and not tell them it's a horror movie, and then you can like jump scare them when a certain part comes out.
It's like, here it comes. I think that'd be funny. That'd be a terrible prank, though. I feel like a bad person, but it'd be good.
It's
Good laughs
funny,
for
isn't
everybody else.
it? I think horror movies are fun when you have a group of people and you can all kind of laugh at your reactions together.
Yeah, you'd be like, "Oh, you jump." You'd be like, "No, I didn't."
What are some of your favorite horror movies that you've watched?
I love. Oh, I love Freddy Krueger. I love Jason. There's a weird. It's not really horror. I don't think, but I loved Killer Clowns,
Killer Clowns.
and it's like the weirdest, cheesiest movie. I don't know. I like that little cheesiness to it. So
It probably makes it feel a little bit less intense, I would imagine. It has
yeah,
some cheesiness to it.
yeah, and it's fun. So it's like, what's the
Yeah.
problem? Just have a good time.
So what got you into horror movies?
No, that's my dog.
Oh, that's okay.
uh Actually, I saw The Exorcist, and I loved the feeling that I got from it. It was like, does this really happen? That fear, I don't know. It just excited me.
Hmm. That is an intense movie.
That is an intense movie, and it was a true story. I was like, this
Yes.
really happened. I don't. It just makes you think.
Yes, yeah. I watched it with a friend in like 2008 and I had to get up to use the restroom and she screamed, "Don't leave me here by myself."
My parents rented it, and we all sat and watched it. It was like the best thing ever
I
because
like
they went to the movies and saw it. I actually saw it on pay per view. So.
Oh, okay.
That I was fortunate that night because they was like, "Hey, let's watch a scary movie." The Exorcist is playing.
I love that your parents wanted to watch it with you because there are so many parents who will say, nope, nope, we can't watch this together. It's too scary for you.
Oh yeah, we all scary movie buffs.
Are you a fan of like any of Rob Zombie's movies? Are those considered horror?
They are. I'm not a big fan of Rob Zombie movies. I love his music though.
Yeah, I love his music. I've actually never seen any of his movies. I just know that that's another venture he has.
Yeah, it's like he turns the story around, which I don't like, but I respect it.
Is it kind of like an M. Night Shyamalan thing? I know that's a big joke with people.
Yeah.
So, what are some of your favorite horror games, though? Because that's completely different from watching a horror movie. You actually get to be in the action.
Exactly. Of course, Resident Evil, uh, Silent Hill, Clock Tower. Dead Space was a good one. I didn't finish it, but that was a good one. And probably The Evil Within.
Ooh. So, out of all of those, which one would you say scared you? Oh, if any of them scared you, which one would you say was the scariest?
Probably the Silent Hill series. Those were some creatures that I have never seen before, and they still hunt me to this day. Crazy enough, I went to a convention earlier this year before everything shut down, and this one lady was walking around as Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. I got a picture with her.
Really?
She put her heart and soul into her costume. It was great.
Now that's the one that like they have like it looks like almost like a robe wrapped around
Yeah, he
their
has
bottom,
the
like a pointed thing.
uh well, I think some people call him wheelbarrow head. He has the big triangle like mask. So
I don't know how she would breathe with that on.
it didn't look that heavy, to be honest.
I've never played Silent Hill, but everyone tells me that I should, that they're really good with the stories.
Yeah, the first three were real good. And then the story kind of changed a little bit, of course. But I mean, I guess it's targeted towards newer audience. Uh, So just I say just give it a try if you get a chance. If you like being scared.
Now, have you ever streamed any horror games?
I have not.
No,
Only
no.
because we act so silly during my streams, and I stream just to make people laugh.
Good stress relief right there.
Oh yeah, especially in times like this.
Oh, you're not kidding. Sometimes I just need to not take life so seriously and I need to decompress.
Yeah, that's why we love our video games.
Yes, I love them. Well, tell us about okay, Resident Evil, that is even in your bio on Twitter that you are a fangirl. So why don't you tell us about your experiences with Resident Evil, like your first games, your favorite ones, what you love about it, whatever you want to talk about with it.
Sweet. So my first Resident Evil game was the original Resident Evil in '96. Me and my dad actually went to a game store, and this is like back in the day where they had the TVs out in the lobby so you could try the game.
Hmm.
And it was a slow day, and one of the employees was sitting down in the lobby playing this game, and I'm looking at it like, what is this? I just saw the lady walking through the hallway with the shotgun, and I heard him say, "Well, I don't have any else to kill," and I was like, "Okay." I see it's some type of shooter. And he looks at me like, "Do you want to play?" I was like, "No, I'm just looking." And me and my dad left. I think we bought like Street Fighter Alpha that day. And not even a week later, my dad brings home this black long box game that said Resident Evil on it. And we popped it in and we watched the cutscenes and whatnot. And then me and my dad, we picked our character when we went through the lobby. And it hit me. I was like, "This is the game the guy was playing." And I told my dad, I was like, "Oh, this is the game that I was looking at, Dad." He was like, "Okay, okay." So we go through the door and we see that first zombie. And I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "I don't remember all of that because I didn't see any enemies or whatnot." And from there, we were just hooked. It was like, "Hey, just keep going." So we collected like pretty much all the Resident Evil games. But I like Resident Evil because it taught me to face my fears because
Wow.
I'm a curious person. But sometimes I do like to step back and think like, what would happen if I do this, or what would happen if I do that? So with this game, it's like, hey, go through the door and see what's behind there. It's like get to the end. That's all I was thinking about. So I really like that. I love the puzzles in Resident Evil. I love the female leads that they have. I love the soundtrack is amazing. It had that spookiness to it that again I've never seen or felt in a video game. The the mansion environment was crazy. It's like that claustrophobic feel,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like that helpless feeling. I was actually digging, and even like now, it's like I get that anxiety when I play it. Even though come on, I beat the game already, but I still get that anxiety feeling like, oh my god, here comes the sex, and I can just feel my anxiety just go. So I love that so much.
I love that you said it helped you face your fears. That's really cool.
Yeah,
And it's I think that's a really good way of looking at it too, because obviously there's an end to the game. There's an end to the goal. And do you kind of find that it gave you courage in real life?
yeah. I'm a shy kid, but again, if it's like if I want to get to the next step, I have to kind of move forward and
Hmm.
like again face my fears.
Yeah, because I mean, of course, if you've played the games, you have stuff memorized or you know what to expect. But the first time you play those kinds of games, or any game really, you truly don't know what's on the other side.
Exactly. I admire people who can just stream on their very first day of game release because I can't do that. I'm the type I don't like too many deaths in my gameplay.
Me either. Yeah.
So I'm like streaming this. I'm like, they probably think I'm the worst person ever. I don't want to do this.
Oh, that mansion in the first game. I've never played the original. I played the remake for GameCube when it came out, and it's stunning.
It really is. And even like almost 10, am I doing the math right? No, I'm not.
I think
Almost 20.
2002.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't want to say anything because I was like, oh, we're gonna date ourselves a little bit.
Right. Whoa. That was almost, yeah. Anyway, it still holds up. It's amazing. I was like, what? My respect for Capcom comes in where it seems like they always just push the console to its limits. That's why I actually respect Capcom. So, um, seeing that back then and looking at it now, it just still holds up.
I agree. It's still beautiful. It's still the atmosphere, the lighting. I mean, it's terrifying. I personally would not want to be in that mansion in real life.
Exactly. It's cool, but it's like if you experience something like that for real, I don't think you want to do that again.
Do you want to know what I think is the scariest part?
I'm thinking Lisa Trevor.
I think there's only one bathroom in that whole mansion.
Oh yes, yes, it is,
That's so
in that small
scary to me.
kitchen.
Yes, I'm like, I know that sounds so goofy, but I played it, and after I finished it, I was like, wait a minute. I think I saw only one bathroom for how many people were living and
In that
working in this
mansion,
mansion.
exactly.
And apparently the toilet was clogged.
Right.
Who was
It,
taking a bath? Like, well, spoiler if y'all haven't played it, Nellie knows what I'm talking about.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's an iconic scene. Just pull the drain from the bathtub, and you might make a friend.
Right. You'd be like, "Oh, I don't really want to, but I have to because I need that."
Oh, yes. But you bring up a great point about Lisa Trevor. Now, she and her part are not in the original
No.
one, right?
Right.
So, how do you feel about this? Is a hot take because people have a lot of opinions on this. So, they they added things to the original. I remember reading in a game magazine that the remake was going to be like 70% new, which was mind-blowing. So were you upset or happy with the remake? Like, did you find it stayed faithful? Did you want them to add more to it?
Actually, it was one of the most legit remakes that I played out of all the three Resident Evils, respect to the other two. But even the story behind Lisa, it was just heartbreaking. And I actually respect that because it actually inspired me to go into more detail when I'm writing and like not be afraid to add anything else. Like it's okay to explore, to get reactions. That's how you get better. So I respect Capcom for doing that as well. But I still feel bad for Lisa.
Oh God, that whole story is one of the most heartbreaking ones in the whole series.
It
And
really is.
it's easy for us as players when your adrenaline's pumping and you're trying to escape Lisa because she's invincible. You're just like, okay, this is a monster I have to get away from. But when you read the diaries and different notes, are you someone who likes to read all of that?
Yes. So again, I love the background story of Resident Evil and like the deep readings. Again, it just helps me to be a better writer.
Yeah, and it's something that I would love them to do more flashbacks with like George Trevor and his
Yeah,
family.
that would be nice.
And are you a fan of the Resident Evil Archives books? Did you ever get a chance to look at those?
Are we talking? No, I'm thinking SD Perry. No.
Yeah, there are some Resident Evil Archives books, and they're about the size of like a video game player's guide, and they're very thick. They have one and two, and they have like the whole history of the series.
Oh, I need to see if I can find
Yes,
those.
I'm gonna send you the link after this.
Oh yes. Oh
'Cause,
yes.
oh, you would love them, Nellie. Oh my God, it is a treasure. It's kind of like the Hyrule Historia for Zelda, but for Resident Evil.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
I like it.
So if you have time between studying, you can read it.
Definitely.
So speaking of SD Perry, so you've read the novels.
Yes, I actually have all the novels except I'm missing one. Uh the third one, Caliban Cove. Am I saying that
Oh
right?
yeah, her original one.
Yeah, I'm missing that one.
I need to go
I
back.
had it, but my dog chewed it up when I was in
No,
Chicago.
no, 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 no way.
She did. And we had just got her. I was like, why did you do that? I was so heartbroken.
Like I love you, but I'm also really mad right now.
And she come up kissing me. I'm like, God, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. I still love you. I'm just
Exactly.
really upset right now.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
get it though.
yes, yes. I need to reread those because I have them all, and those came out like in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I would bring them to school, and after we'd finish a test and I had some free time, I'd whip it out of my backpack and read it in class, and I don't want to know what my classmates thought because the covers are kind of gross.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
whatever. So how do you feel about video games becoming novels? Like, do you enjoy that? Do you think it enriches the story?
I do. As long as I might get a lot of heat for this. As long as video games don't turn into movies, I think we're safe.
You know, MJ Kuhn, who or Mallory, who was on our women's panel, she has a hot take on that. She actually wrote a whole article on it on her website
I
about why
know.
she feels that way.
I used to root for a Metal Gear Solid movie, but I was like, no, I think they're really gonna mess that up. So just leave it as it is. Leave it a video game, and I think we'll all be happy.
Have you ever seen a movie based on a video game that was actually pleasing?
Close to it was probably the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Really?
Yeah, that was probably the closest I've ever seen a video game movie. But after that, I can't lie. I do like the Resident Evil movies. They're like a guilty pleasure.
Hmm.
But I wish it was more like the video game.
That's exactly what I thought. I remember I thought Jovovich, Is
Oh,
that?
you gotta say her name.
She was in the first one, and I thought she looked a lot like Jill, so I thought she was going to be playing Jill, and then they had this completely new storyline, and it really threw me off.
Yeah, he wanted to. I think he said he wanted to combine Mila into like all the female characters into
Mm.
one, but it just threw the story off, I think. Because then you introduce Jill, and I'm like, if she's supposed to be like Jill, then why do we have Jill here?
And then Claire comes by later on.
Yes, and I think that was it, if I'm not mistaken. I know some movies I didn't see,
Hmm.
and then they made Wesker weak, kind of weak.
Oh, how do you feel about Wesker in general, just like in the game series?
He's my crush.
Oh, really? He's not bad looking, I have to say.
I can't believe I just said that. But a
What
lot
is
of my friends, they know I kind of got a crush on Wesker. So
what is it about Wesker that makes you feel that way?
I like the fact that he's just cocky and confident,
Hmm.
and I like a man in uniform,
And with red eyes.
right? And red eyes and a nice voice.
Yeah, his voice actor is really good.
Yeah, I actually met DC Douglas. He did the voice acting for West Grand 5. I met
Really?
him this year.
How was it? How was the whole experience?
He's a sweetheart. I love him.
He's not as evil as Wesker.
Oh no. Oh no. He's like a big teddy bear. He's awesome.
What do you think makes Wesker such a good villain?
That is actually a good question. I would have to really just think about that. Uh he's brainy. You can't find too many brainy villains. Actually, he's a manipulator. He has people do his dirty work, and then he'll just come behind and be like, okay, thanks. Bye.
Yes, especially okay, guys. We might go into spoiler territory if you haven't picked up on that already. But with
Right.
yeah, but like what happens with Barry in the first Resident Evil?
Yes. He had Barry do his dirty work, turns his back on Barry, and then Barry got a little bit of revenge, but sorry, spoilers. But still, he's manipulated Barry to the point where it's like, oh my God, it's either my the mission or my family.
Yeah, like do I hurt my teammates or do I hurt my two daughters and wife?
Yeah,
That's a sign of a great villain who can get other people to do the dirty work and take the fall while they get away.
exactly.
God, Wesker is oh man, that's why I really hope we get a remake of Code Veronica.
Oh yes, I hope they much respect to all the voice actors for Wesker, but I'm really hoping they pick up Richard Waugh again.
Oh, was that the one for Code Veronica, the
For
original?
Code Veronica, yeah.
Because that one really shows more of Wesker, and I think it's really important to the story.
Yeah. And honestly, we haven't had a good villain since Wesker's death. So I'm hoping they could pick that back up.
Mhm. Now, I haven't really played like 5 or 6. I played a little bit of 7. So, are you happy with the way the series is going as far as the story, or you'd like to see more survival horror? Do you prefer more action?
I would like to see more survival horror because that's how Resident Evil started. And
Hmm.
that's what drew me to Resident Evil. But I know they targeted like newer audience, which is fine because what they did with 3, I really enjoyed. I actually played 3 more than 2, even though again I still like that survival horror. But that survivor action was good because it reminded me of Tomb Raider, which is another series I really love. And I really love what they did with Jill. She's just she matured a lot. I think that's why I really liked her. And I like her relationship with Carlos. They just balance each other perfectly in this one.
I think I would mature pretty quickly too after surviving a mansion of zombies.
Exactly.
That's a good
'Cause I
point.
think she was in her 20s.
Yeah, she's like 23.
So I think that was a good leap. I'm with her. I would have probably just left too. Like, bye. I can't do this anymore.
Well, yeah, imagine we were like when we were in our early 20s. And
Yeah.
So would you say, is Jill your favorite female protagonist?
I like Sheva the most.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I do like Jill, but Sheva's my favorite. I don't think she gets the respect that she deserves. That's just me.
You don't hear about her a lot. She was the one in five, right?
Hmm.
What do you like the most about her? What makes her stand out to you?
Just like all the other women, she's just a strong lead that I feel like I can connect with.
That's awesome whenever you can see that in a character you're playing as and you're controlling.
Yeah. The only female that I really don't care for is Ada, only because she disappears a lot.
Yeah, she's very sneaky.
Yeah. But it's like she's on both sides. It's kind of like, it's like, I want to help you, but I have to go against you at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know if I can trust her.
Right.
So, how do you feel about the remakes of two and three? Because those kind of did what the first one did and added some new things or changed the story a little bit.
Yeah, the biggest thing I miss about Resident Evil are the load screens
Really?
because it gives me that feeling like what's behind door number one? What's behind door number two? Do I go this way? Oh, it's locked. Good. Okay. As long as the door open, I feel like I'm safe.
Yeah, yeah, those, yeah, going up the stairs.
Oh yeah, with the
Take a
black
while.
screen.
Yeah, because, and I remember in Resident Evil 2, you go like to this shack near the police station, and you open this one door, and these two zombies come out, and that
Oh
blew my mind.
yes, you be like, what's behind that door? But and then the music starts, and then you already let the zombies in the room, so it's like, oh, turn around and go.
Oh, I know. And so, oh, you made me think of something. Camera angles. That is a heated debate among Resident Evil fans. Do you have a preference?
I do like the fixed camera angles. I think that's part of what makes Resident Evil. But I do like the over the shoulder because I get to see what's in front of me, but I still miss that wide view of the whole room.
Hmm. That, yeah, I'm fine with either one, I guess, as long as I enjoy the game and stuff like that. I think it is cool to see how they've remodeled it though, from like to compare. That's really neat that we get both options
Yeah.
from old and new. And so, is there anything else you'd like to say about Resident Evil? I know it's your favorite. Did you want to talk about any of like the movies or any plots or characters?
Uh, I just want to say rest in peace, Paul Haddad. He was my favorite Leon.
Yes, he was young.
Actually, I never cried over a celebrity till I heard that.
I didn't know that he was sick either.
Yeah, he talked about it on a podcast, and I didn't even know he was that sick. But yeah, I was pretty heartbroken, like real heartbroken, because I'm like, that's the first Leon. And crazy enough, I was on a date uh about a few years ago, and Resident Evil came up, and Leon became the subject among me and my date. And he was like, "So who's your favorite Leon?" I was like, "Well, the original Leon from '98, Paul Haddad." He was like, "I don't remember how he sounds." I just was like,
How do you not remember? It's
"Sir."
iconic.
Right? I'm like, he's so iconic. But yeah,
I love
I miss him.
it. I know
I don't even know who he was, but I just miss him because I know I'm not gonna be able to hear his voice again, not unless I play the games. And I've seen so many beautiful tributes to him. Like
yeah.
I was watching a YouTube video, and I think they had like Leon from 4 and 6 in the police station with him, and he actually hands the torch to the next Leon. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't watch this! I'm about to break down." It was like the saddest but happiest thing I've seen.
Oh, I want to watch that. I didn't see that. That's really sweet.
I have to send it to you. And like everybody's waving at him, and I was like, oh my God, I'm about to cry.
I think he really brought out that era of what we expected in like male protagonists back then. It was really cool. It was even like the cheesy Ada. I loved it. It really made the game so good.
And you get to see how Leon matured as well
Hmm.
from Resident Evil 2 up until 6. Because he was so naive in the beginning, and then all of a sudden he's just like, okay, I gotta do what I gotta do to get the mission done.
Hmm.
And I love that so much.
You know, that's making me think how you said the game showed you how to have courage. I think they're also, like you said, they're a great way to see how characters evolve and become stronger
Yeah.
after they've overcome these obstacles.
Yeah. Because I feel like with Chris, we don't get to see how he, well, I guess you do. I was about to say how he matured in his journey, but actually you do. So scratch that.
But with Leon, it's really, really out there because he's like, what, 21? It's his first day as a policeman, and he has to deal with Raccoon City.
As a rookie, he didn't
Yes.
know what was going on.
And I love that they have the party banners at the
Oh,
police station ready to go for him on his first
the
day.
little party hats on this desk on the original.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love those personal touches in there. And I think I love that you said that it helps us to have courage because even though it seems small, if we can find it in us to, let's see what's behind this door. Okay, I can conquer that. Or and then once you finish the game, I think it can inspire you to feel bolder in your real life too.
Yeah, you like you say, you feel accomplished, like you actually did something.
Hmm.
Especially like if you are someone who feels like you can't do anything right in life, because I've heard people say that. If you can find something that interests you, I think that you actually accomplished something, and you shouldn't say that, hey, I'm not good at anything. Because
Yeah, there's there's a lot of pressure now, especially with social media, and I've felt it, and I'm getting better, but I'm still human. Sometimes I compare myself to people.
yeah, I do it all the time.
It's, but you're right. We can't we can't do that because we're all on our own journey and we all have our own talents, and we don't know what other people are going through. They're just going to show the positives, right? They're not,
Right,
which is good. I like to be inspired, but if you're having a bad day and you feel like you're not as accomplished, but you also have to think, well, that person has bad days too. They might feel the same way.
right.
What helps you to refocus and to center yourself and think, okay, I am still worthy. I am still valuable.
I feel like, and I'm not trying to turn this into anything religious, but I always feel like God has promised me something within my next journey that I am actually looking forward to. So
Hmm.
I don't have a choice but to continue. and,
No. Yeah.
and plus, it's like I like making people happy. Like I had this one customer when I was a barista, and I I made her coffee and everything, helped her out, and she bought a few things. And I saw her getting ready to carry them, and I was like, "Here, ma'am, let me get you a bag." And she was like, "Oh my God, you're so generous. You don't know how much I needed that today." I was like, "Whoa,
Wow. Just
okay."
offering her the bag.
And it was another time I was in a store, and this lady was in a one of those electric wheelchairs, and I saw her reaching for water. I was like, "Hold on, ma'am, how many do you need?" And she requested two, and I put them in the basket. She was like, "Oh my God." She was like, "I want to be like you." I was like, I didn't really do anything, but it's just that feeling like I've done a good deed. I want to do more of this. I do want to make people smile. I want to make people laugh.
And you have such a great personality, Nellie. I know I haven't known you very long, but you're always so happy, so cheerful. It's very inspiring. It makes my day better
Oh,
whenever I
thank you,
can
thank you.
interact with you. That's and no, I think it is important if to bring up what gives you the strength, religious or not, because that's important to you, that's in your heart. And there's a saint who I'm not like super religious, but there are some things that I really enjoy and that help me through the day. And there's a saint called Saint Teresa of Lisieux, and she died when she was 24, and she was very upset that her health prohibited her from doing these extraordinary things like going on these long journeys. But she decided, well, little things I do for people matter just as much as big things other people do. Like in your story about giving the lady the bag and helping the other lady with the water, those might seem like small, insignificant actions, but they make a difference.
Yeah,
It's like a domino effect.
it is. And I always said, like, in order for me to get a blessing, I have to be a blessing. So
That's
I
beautiful.
I always should. I just be trying to make people laugh. I know some people probably think I'm awkward and weird, but I'm like, listen, if I can make one person laugh, I accomplished something.
And laughter is really important, I think.
Yeah, so I feel like some people just take life too seriously. And people like that, I don't really want to be around. It's like, hey, I can't help it that I'm trying to put a smile on your face and that I'm happy.
That's a really great point, Nellie, because you can try as hard as you want, but if someone's heart is not open to receiving your gift of joy, it's okay to wish them well and step away before the negativity gets into your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you hear it all the time when you're a kid and all the shows that we watched about how be careful who you keep around. But as you get older, it really hits home when you think about people who've brought you down, either because they're jealous, they're insecure, they're dealing with something. It doesn't mean they're horrible, terrible people. It's just you have to watch out for yourself too, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't help other people.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that story. That's
Oh, yes,
really
definitely.
positive. I love hearing that kind of stuff because we're all on this planet. We're all in this together. We need to take care of one another.
Yeah. I
Even in
always try to look out for people.
Yes, yes. Well, you also mentioned that you like to write and that Resident Evil helps with your writing. What are some things you like to write?
I do like horror, of course. I try to dabble into humor and romance a little bit. But I'm all about the scary stuff. So it's like, oh my God. Then the saw came down, it chopped them in half. And okay, that's kind of brutal. But again, it's just fiction. I don't want to see any of that in real life. Um, but I do like writing young adult fiction. Uh, I like that adventurous feel. What else do I write? I journal a lot.
Really? How do you feel about journaling? Like, do you like to talk? Do you think it helps you talk, like reflect on your day, or you talk about how you're feeling?
Actually, all of it. If I'm feeling down, I can write in my journal. It's a judge-free zone. I can write what I want to. I don't have to worry about other people reading it, not unless I leave it out. If I connect with a journal, I'm going to buy it. For example, I have one here. Just bought it like 2 days ago.
Pisces. It's a
uh,
pretty, for those not watching YouTube, it's a really pretty Pisces journal. It has the constellation for Pisces.
oh yeah, I actually want that tattooed on me somewhere.
Do
But
you feel like you are a Pisces? Do you feel like you fit the bill?
oh yeah, I have a Pisces cup. It says I'm sensitive. I'm always daydreaming. And always imagining stuff. I was like, yeah, that sounds about me. Says I'm sensitive. I was like, yeah, that's me. Because it's like, even though I have to go, I still stand here. Listen, go ahead.
Oh, I love it. So what does journaling help you do? Like, how does it help you feel?
Actually, I feel good because I feel like I can talk to something if I feel like I am being a little bit too much for a person. So it's like I can actually just write down my feelings and release that energy.
Mhm. That's awesome. I've heard that journaling is very therapeutic.
Oh, it is. I recommend anybody get a journal,
And I
especially if you don't want to talk to anybody. It's like, hey, I could just sit here, write as much as I want, as many pages as I want. Or you don't even have to like journal about your day, you could just go into a whole spiel of how you want to be swimming on the ocean somewhere, floating out in the ocean on a pirate ship. It's like your own world, so I really enjoy that.
That's awesome. And I was going to say, I really like how you said it's a judgment-free zone. I think it's good to release that steam in some way to get your thoughts out
Yeah,
like
I
that.
have a bunch of journals.
That's awesome. That's inspiring me to want to start journaling again.
Oh yes, oh yes. And then like I go to a store called Didi's. It's like Ross, and journals be like $2.99, so I can buy as many as I want for cheap.
Yeah, that's the way to go. You don't have to spend $20 on a pretty
Mm-mm.
journal.
Crazy enough, I spent 13 on that one. I didn't even know it.
Well, it was worth it. It was a treat.
Yeah, I haven't been out of the house in a good minute, so I went to Petco and I went to Books a Million and I saw it and I was like, wait a minute, I want this.
Yeah, and how long have you been writing? Do you remember like when you kind of started getting into it?
uh, I probably been writing since the sixth grade. Uh, it's been an adventure. I still have a lot of improvement. Uh, I did take a writing class, and I've learned my weaknesses with writing. And it was funny because I was working on a zombie story, and I kind of scratched it because we had a choice to continue on with what we were writing or pick something that the professor suggested, and I picked something the professor suggested. And she wrote me back. She was like, "I'm missing my zombie story."
So she enjoyed it.
I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't mean to do that." And like every time she would grade one of my fiction titles, she'd be like, "I'm missing my zombie story." So I think I want to participate in NaNoWriMo this year
Ooh, can you
since
tell
I
me what that?
have the time because I wanted to do it last year, but it was work in school.
Hmm.
I'm actually not working right now due to the pandemic, but uh, since I have time, I want to do it. And there's also a writing contest going on in my school. So
Oh, you should do it. Why not?
yes, I
What
was
do you have
like,
to lose?
I want to try it. It's writing and graphic design. I was like, I want to do the writing portion. And if my computer's moving, that's because my dog is on the court.
Hey, sweetie pie. Hey, doggy. We're gonna interview the dog next.
You might hear one snoring.
Well, so for listeners who might not be aware, what is NaNoWriMo?
It's actually a writing competition for the month of November. You actually write a whole novel within that month. I forget how many words it has to be though, but I think you write 1,500 words a day, which is the goal. But it pretty much teaches you once you start some, finish it. That's
Hmm.
pretty much what the inspiration is behind that. And even if you don't complete it, you can still work on it throughout the year.
Hmm.
And I encourage anybody and everybody to do it. And a lot of times you don't even sit there and pay attention to what you're writing. It's just like, hey, get the words on the paper. And that's what I actually like about it because you can always go back and edit it. And some people actually get their books published.
Wow, all because of NaNoWriMo.
Hmm.
And that's November, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So you
Did
have
I say
30 days.
NaNoWriMo? NaNoWriMo.
Did I say Remo? I don't know. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but that sounds like a challenge. But I know one of the biggest pieces of advice many published authors like Stephen King say is to make sure you write something every day, even if it's just 200 words, even if it's nothing to do with a story in your head. Get
Hmm.
that muscle exercised.
Yeah. And it's a number of programs you can use. My favorite is Google Docs
Hmm.
because it saves every second, every time you move, every time you space. So I don't have to worry about, hey, my battery's about to die on my computer. There goes my document.
Yeah,
Hey, it saves.
yeah. Because with Microsoft Word, which is it's nice, it's if you're in the zone and you forget to save,
Oh, that's it.
it's not a good time unless it recovers that document.
Right.
Well, what are some other hobbies that you have, um, in addition to writing and graphic design and video games? Is there anything else you like to do?
I like to read. I have 2 bookshelves full of books.
Awesome.
Oh, I picked up my guitar again.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm looking at them.
what kind of books do you like to read, or is it kind of like anything?
I like young adult fiction, even though I'm in my 30s, but still. I feel like there's more adventure in young adult books.
Hmm. And I think with young adults, it's such an intense time of life that it's really cool to read about.
Oh yeah. And then it's like, why would I just really want to live in one world where I can live in multiple worlds?
Yeah,
Which is
without
why I
having to.
read and play video games. It's like I
Yeah,
could be anybody I want.
that's a great way of looking at it, and it's free. You don't well, I mean, you have to buy the game or the book, but like you don't have to buy a plane ticket, and you can do it as many times as you want.
Yes. I also like traveling though.
Yes. Are there any trips you'd like to take once the pandemic's kind of over or cleared out?
Oh yes. I'm actually planning a road trip to there's a few places. I want to go to Destin, Florida. I want to go to Boca Raton. This is all like within driving distance. That's why I'm naming these. But I was supposed to have been going to New York this year, but of course the pandemic happened, and that was supposed to happen in April.
Oh,
But I want to go back out to Seattle. I fell in love with Seattle. That's like my top place I want to go again. I actually want to move out to Seattle.
ah,
uh, what else do I want to go? I do want to go to Canada. I want to go to Canada to check out some hockey games. I know it's like, oh, why go to Canada? I just want the experience.
is there a certain hockey team you follow?
No, I just got into the sport. We go to see the Solar Bears, which is Orlando's farm team down here.
Cool.
So I fell in love with that. it, it's an experience. It's fun looking at the mascots and the people around you, and just looking at the kids having fun. Even though some of us don't know what's going on, we just be like, "Hey, we scored! Let's go!"
It sounds like a cool experience.
It is. It is.
And so with your guitar, are there any kind of songs you like to play? Is there a certain genre of music you like?
I'm a metalhead.
Nice. Nice.
Anything rock, anything kick drums make me happy.
Nice. Are you have any favorite bands or musicians?
Bands. Let's see. I like Ginger is my new favorite band. They're from the Ukraine.
Oh,
Yes, the lead singer. She is a beast. Of course, I like Nirvana. I like Alice in Chains. I like what Lenny Kravitz. Tears of Fear. Oh my God, this is gonna go on forever.
that's okay. You have a good wide range of bands and musicians you like.
Oh yeah, I love Phil Collins. Genesis.
Hmm.
Oh my God, I'm not even. I could get my playlist.
Do you like going to concerts too?
I do. Last year I went to see 21 Pilots, and that was like one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Really? What was that like?
Oh, it was wild. It was fun. They use a lot of explosive though.
Ooh.
So I have like anxiety, and I heard that first boom. I was like, "Oh my God, this is what kind of concert it's gonna be."
It's
It
like,
was
what's
fun
going
though.
on? Where's this coming from?
Oh, it was fun. It was very energetic. Like just two guys on stage making all that ruckus. Oh yes.
Just
And
two
one of
guys?
oh yeah, we just got the drummer and the lead singer who plays bass, piano. Uh, he plays the tambourine at times. He's jumping around. It was crazy. It was an experience I never had before. And another concert that I really enjoyed was back in 2002, and I saw Linkin Park.
Oh, that had to be an experience.
That was like one of my first rock concerts. I was like, this is great. I could do this.
Oh,
We had the balcony seats, but it was still amazing.
Lincoln Park. Oh, that brings back so many memories.
Oh yeah, the baggy pants and baggy t-shirts and the bracelets all the way up your arm. Yes, great
Yes,
times. Gotta love new
yes,
metal.
and my black eyeliner.
Yes, yes,
Well, you also have another hobby. You are now part of Crossroads through Boss Rush Games.
I am.
So what can you tell us about that? Like what do y'all talk about? What is that experience like?
Uh, I'm part of the PlayStation squad, even though I don't do the whole console war. But we talk about the latest news, latest releases. We act silly. uh, feet pics and everything.
Y'all send each other feet pics?
No, we just talk about feet pics.
I heard
They're
that's
gonna
a good
hate me so
market.
much when they see this.
I heard there's a market, so
Right? We talk about PlayStation rumors. We debunk those. Our love for video games in general, and it really is not all about PlayStation. We throw like some Xbox stuff in there. We might throw in some Nintendo stuff, but it's predominantly PlayStation.
that's awesome. And so is this your first podcast you've ever been on?
It is. I've been wanting to do one of these for a while. I just didn't know how to get started. I didn't know what to talk about, and then like Corey reached out to me. Thank you, Corey. He reached out to me and invited me to the team, and I was like, sure, I don't mind doing this. It's something I've been wanting to do, and I just want to grow and become better at that because I'm still learning. I don't really know everything, and I wish I had like more time to actually dedicate to that podcast, but due to my schedule, it's like kind of hard. But I do what I can, and I hope I do an okay job.
Oh gosh, I'm sure you're doing a great job. I think it's all about just having fun and sharing your passion.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I love those guys.
Oh, they're a trip.
Yeah.
So what time do y'all record? Is it a weekly thing?
We record. We usually meet up on Sunday, discuss what we want to talk about on the show, and then we meet up around 8:30 Central. No, 8:30 Eastern, and then we start recording at 9.
Nice, nice. And it goes out on Tuesdays, right?
It does.
Awesome. That's really exciting. I'm glad you're doing that. It seems like it's been a really big bright spot for you.
Oh yeah, I've been having a good time. I There's still a lot that I need to learn and I want to learn, but for the most part, I am having fun with this.
And speaking of PlayStation, do you have any favorite PlayStation exclusive games?
Uh, the biggest one was Detroit Become Human. That was like my top. That game. I've cried so much playing that game.
It's sad.
It Depending on your choices, it becomes sad because
Oh,
it's just like real life. Whatever, every little action determines the fate of the character.
oh,
So
oh
it's like,
man.
yeah, it's like, hey, I'm just gonna just throw something out there that's not even part of the game. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and crush this spider. Then all of a sudden, all these other little spiders just come after you. Like, oh, I should have left that spider alone. That's not in the game, but that's just me just throwing out example because I don't want to throw out any spoilers.
Don't you love it whenever a video game moves you like that?
Yes, and like you connect with the characters like on a whole nother level. I think I learned a lot about myself, like so much more about myself.
Especially if you have to make choices, it kind of makes you question your motives.
Yeah, because the thing is, a lot of times in video games, I do things that I can't do in real life, like in GTA. I just walk up and hit you in the head. But with this game, it's like, oh my god, I don't want to hurt him. No. So it's just like a whole different experience.
I need to play that one. That one's on my list.
Yes, do it, do it, do it.
Well, Nellie, what about streaming? Is that something you get a chance to do still as much anymore?
Not too much, again, due to my schedule. But I do want to get back into it. I still game when I can, but as far as streaming, it's kind of on hold right now. I just had one of my buddies ask me how my streams were going. I was like, due to my school and schedule, I can't stream too much right now.
Well,
But
how long?
mhm.
I'm sorry, I was just gonna ask how long you've been streaming.
Actually, I've been streaming for about 4 or 5 months. Not that long.
Okay.
I just started.
Oh, wow. What made you want to get started with that?
I was actually talking to someone in our RE community, and they stream, and my stomach just growled. I don't know if you heard that.
No, it's
it probably
lunchtime.
it probably picked up on the. That was embarrassing. Okay, but yeah, I was talking to him, and I was like, oh man, one day I want to do this. He was like, just go ahead and do it. He was like, once you get your first raid, your first follower, it's just gonna change your life. And it has. I was like, I connected with so many awesome people within that community.
Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And do you have any favorite memories from streaming?
Just me and my cousin and my friend acting silly in World War Z. And we clipped some of that too.
Oh gosh. Do you save any of the recordings?
Not really. I was trying to upload some to my YouTube channel, but I don't know. It just didn't work, but that's okay. I will learn. We would get some more funny streams out there.
I love that you guys are cutting up on a World War Z.
Yes. Yes. That's like our top.
Well, do you have any current projects or goals right now?
The biggest goal is to survive 2020. That is my answer. And that's my final answer.
Oh, I think you and I both just, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I do want to graduate. So that's on my list as well.
And how long until that happens about?
Okay, so I actually have this term and next term for my AA, but I'm still working on my AS, so that should be sometime next year, and then I can just go on to continue on with my bachelor's.
Oh, awesome. So it's not too far away.
Mm-mm.
That's awesome. And I hope you survive 2020 as well. I hope we all
Yes, all of
do.
us.
Well, Nellie, do you have any favorite snacks or meals? And don't feel bad. I'm craving a snack myself, so we're just going to talk about food.
Let's talk about food. Snacks. I love Ritz crackers.
Mm,
I love fruit. I love peaches. I love apples. I love blackberries, plums,
mm.
all fruits and vegetables. My favorite vegetable is broccoli for some odd reason. I don't know why.
It's delicious. That's why.
With some ranch. Oh my God, yes,
Oh, do you like to cook?
I do. Sorry, that might stop my stomach from growling.
Oh no, you need to go get a snack. Go get yourself some broccoli with ranch.
Yes. I'm always dabbing into new recipes thanks to YouTube, and I
Hmm.
always want to try them. So my mom's like, "Oh, wait, what are you cooking today?" I'm like, "Well, Ma, I saw this recipe on YouTube. I'm about to try it."
What do you have any favorite channels that you'd like to share?
Oh, Laura in the kitchen. Yes,
Laura in the
she
kitchen.
uh she made this chicken and broccoli recipe that I want to try because she said they don't really deliver out within her area because she lives in the middle of nowhere. And I've been wanting to try that recipe, and it's not even that hard. Like looking at the video, I was like, I could do that. So yeah, Laura in the kitchen, she's my top.
That sounds really good. Chicken
Yes.
and broccoli. Oh, I think I'm gonna need a snack.
Yeah, I'm still thinking like, my. I hope. I'm pretty sure my mic is picking up my stomach. So
That's okay. Maybe someone else will be listening and they'll think, you know, she's inspired me to look up Laura in the kitchen. I'm gonna go cook something.
yes.
I needed a dinner idea, so thank you for that.
Oh yes, definitely.
Well, well, Nellie, is there anything else you'd like to share with listeners? Anything? like to say?
Stay positive and love yourself and play more
Oh,
video games.
yes. It sounds like they've really changed your life in many ways.
Oh yeah. I'm still learning. It's like, what else can I dabble into? It taught me to be open-minded, more open-minded.
Hmm.
Oh, and the biggest thing I learned, even if you don't play one series, that doesn't make you any less of a gamer than the next person. Like there's a lot of games I haven't played that people played, like Assassin's Creed. I've never played that. I've never played um I haven't played every Tomb Raider game, but that still doesn't make me no less of a fan of the series than the next person. So
Yeah.
don't feel bad if you haven't played any games that people have mentioned.
Yeah, like this elitism among some people.
Hmm. There, I still haven't played like Apex or Fortnite or none of that, which I probably won't even play it, but that still doesn't make me any less of a gamer.
Yeah, if you play games, you're a gamer. That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know we had to have all these other qualifications, but I don't know. I hate that attitude. I mean, and we see that attitude, and even with art and writing and anything, music. Oh, you don't like this band? Do you call yourself a true fan?
Right. So
Guys, people like what they like and enjoy your life. Don't let those haters get you down.
exactly. Everybody's their own person. Everybody has something special to bring to the table.
Exactly. Thank you for that. That's a really important reminder. Really important. Well, Nellie, where can people find you if they'd like to follow you?
I am on Twitter at Planet Nellie. Nellie is spelt there go my stomach again.
It's
And
lunchtime.
I know, right? And 3LLIE for Twitter,
Mhm.
Planet Nellie. And for Twitch, it is Bratface_87.
Awesome. And we're going to have those in the show notes as well so people can find you and interact with you on Twitter. And I saw that there's a Resident Evil con coming up virtually.
Yes, I am so excited. Shout out to Ro for that and Nick Apostolides for tweeting that as well.
I can't wait. I hope it's on a Friday, so I hope that after I get off, I can pop in for a little bit.
Oh, yes. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited.
I know we need more happy things to look forward to this year, I think.
Yes. Which is why I think I started watching Twitch so much. I've met, like, I talked to a lot of Twitch streamers and it's been amazing. I know 2020 has been everybody's year, but like, I've ran into so many Resident Evil fans and we all follow and talk on Twitter. This has been amazing.
Oh, that's warming my heart because some people say Twitter is bad, but I've had really good experiences, made good friends.
Yeah, me too.
And I hope it stays that way. But
Exactly.
I'm going to do like you and keep positive, and people who are negative, they can just stay out of my box.
Exactly. Stay out of my arm.
Well, Nellie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me this afternoon.
Definitely. You're welcome. I had fun.
Oh yeah, this is a blast. I love these. It's just relaxing, chilling. Just we learn new things about each other. Like I didn't know about Lauren Kitchen, so now I'm gonna go look her up because I run out of ideas for suppers.
Oh, trust, she has a lot. She has a lot of videos.
Well, thank you again so much. And you guys can find us on Boss Rush Games, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can listen to Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts as well, and on YouTube. So until next time, see you later, guys. Bye.